Hi guys, I'm Dana Lydia, and I know I've been basically MIA from YouTube for like forever, but it's summer, yay! I didn't forget about my channel or anything. It's been bothering me like so much to not be able to post, so I really have no excuse besides school. But it's summer now, so I'll probably film like a lot more. So yeah. So as you can see, this is a story time video, and I guess I should just probably get into the story. So this story happened when I was 15, and I went to the mall with my sister Sarah and my best friend Clarissa, which if you haven't been watching my videos, then you don't know, but now you know, dude. So this story started with me and my sister and Clarissa going to the mall just to window shop because we had no money. So we went and we were walking around just visiting stores. Everything was fine, and then as we're walking around, I don't know if Sarah noticed it or Clarissa noticed it, but I noticed that these two guys, two teenage boys, were always like around the same area that we were. And I don't know if they were following us. That wasn't my first thought. But I was like, why would they follow us? Like, you know? So I ignored it, whatever. Keep going on their day. And my sister and Clarissa wanted to go to Bath & Body Works. And I was like, no, I really don't want to go. And they're like, please, like, can we go? And I'm like, alright, like, we can just go. But I'll wait outside of the store. Where you can see me, like, right in front of the entrance, there was a stand where they were selling like fake grass to put in your lawn, and they had like a patch of fake grass like right there that you can like sit on and touch or whatever. So I was like, I'll just sit on the fake grass and I'll just wait for you guys to come out. And there was no one at the stand, so like I wasn't bothering anybody. But yeah, so I waited outside and they're like, okay, we'll be out here, we'll be inside, like we can see you from here, so we'll come out. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So they go in, and I'm just sitting there by myself, and I started playing with my phone. And at the time I didn't have like an iPhone or anything. I had like a little flippy phone, like the ones you open like that. And so like there was no Facebook, no Instagram, nothing like that on those little flip phones because it wasn't a smartphone. So I was just looking through my pictures, looking at texts, texting people, just trying to like waste time for them to come out. So whatever. As I'm sitting there, I noticed from my peripherals the two teenage boys that were following us, or I didn't think they were following us. I guess they were. But yeah, I see them at the corner of my eye, and they both point at me, and then they look at each other and they start talking, and then they start doing paper, scissors, rock. They do like 4 or 5 times, and then the shorter guy walks over to me and sits down next to me. And I'm just like, okay, what's happening? What just happened? Did they just like call dibs with what? Why? Anyways, so he sits down next to me and he doesn't say anything for like 10 seconds. And I'm just like slowly looking like that. And then he's like, oh, hey. I'm like, hi. And he's like, so what are you doing? I'm like, just sitting, waiting. He's like, what are you waiting for? I was like, oh, well, my friends are in Bath & Body Works, but I didn't want to go. And he's like, oh, you don't like it? And I was just like, I mean, I just didn't really feel like going inside there. And just as like we just started carrying on conversation like that, and then my sister and Clarissa, I see them from the inside the store, and they look at me like who's this? And I'm just like just ignore them and keep talking to the guy. And then they come out and they're like, hey, who's this? And I'm just like, oh, and then that's when he introduces himself. I'm not going to use his real name because it's kind of mean, but we'll just call him Pablo. So Pablo's like, oh, hi, like, I'm Pablo. I just saw your friend over here sitting by herself, and I just wanted to talk to her. And then we're like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I'm here with my cousin. And that's when cousin comes. And I'm gonna be honest, cousin was cute. Cousin was the cute guy, but cousin lost, okay? And now I'm stuck with Pablo following me. So cousin comes over, we're still calling cousin, and Pablo's like, oh, this is my cousin. And he's like, I'm 16 and he's 17, and we're just hanging around at the mall. We saw you guys, and I really wanted to come get your number. And cousin looked really upset, or like not interested in talking to anyone, and he just like excused himself and was like, yeah, well, I'm gonna head out. And we're like, okay, bye, cousin. And so cousin leaves, and he's like, yeah, so can I get your number? And I'm just like, in the back of my head, I'm like, no, I really don't want to give him my number. I don't want to give him my number. So I'm just like, I feel really bad because I don't want to reject him and make him feel like shit, but I really didn't feel comfortable giving my number out. So I gave him my number, but I changed the last number to a different number, so it would be like, I didn't really reject him, but I rejected him. It sounds so horrible, but I was 15, guys. So anyway, I gave him my number, and he starts walking away, and we started walking away, and not even like, we weren't even around the corner from Bath and Body Works, and he comes running back, and he's like, hey, so I think you gave me the wrong number. I'm like, oh, did I? And he's just like, yeah, I called it, and no one answered. It was like an older man's voice in the voicemail, so I don't think you gave me the right number. And so I'm like, oh, alright, let me see. And at this point, I don't really know what to do because, like, I didn't want to give him my number. I didn't know he was going to call it immediately after I gave it to him. So I ended up feeling forced to give him my number, so I ended up giving him my number. And I'm just like, if worse comes to worse, I'll just ignore him until he stops texting me, and maybe he'll get the hint. And so, yeah, I give him my number. And I'm thinking after I give him my number, like, he's gonna continue on his way like he was when I first gave him my number. But then no, he's like, so can I like come hang out with you guys since my cousin already vamoosed? And I'm like, oh. And I didn't know what to say, and Clarissa jumps in and she's like, oh, well, actually we're just going to leave really soon. We're like about to leave. We're just gonna stop at one more store and then leave. And he's like, oh, well, that's fine. Like, I'll just hang out with you guys until you leave. And we're just like, oh, okay. So we start walking, and he's just like behind us. And then we end up going to Spencer's. And as we're in there, Clarissa and Sarah like are outside of the store, and they left me inside the store with the guy, with Pablo. And they're outside the store trying to think of like a game plan so we can get rid of him and continue hanging out. So I don't know what they were talking about, but as we're in there, when Sarah finally comes back in, Clarissa stays out there, Sarah comes back in, and she's like, hey, so we're gonna leave, so we'll see you later, nice meeting you. And as I'm about to go, he's like, wait, before you leave, can I have like one kiss? And I'm just like, what? Like, why would you want to kiss a girl you just met? Like, what? Like, you don't know me? Like, I could have a disease or something and you would not know. Like, so I didn't even say any of that. I was just like, well, And so he starts, like, he doesn't even let me respond. He just starts leaning in. I swear it was like in slow motion. Just leaning in, getting closer and closer to me. Like, he's standing right in front of me, and he's just getting closer and closer to me. And then out of this ways, I see Sarah just standing there, like, and then I just see Clarissa sprint in, and she grabs my arm, and she's like, "We're leaving, bye," and she just rips me away, like, so fast, and he was like this close to my face, and we just leave. And I was like so thankful for Clarissa, because she always gets me out of the most awkward situations. Like, thank you, like, wifey. And that's the last time I saw the mall creep, Pablo, in person. But that's actually not the end of Pablo, because lo and behold, he did have my number, and he continued to text me right after we left him puckered in the Spencer store. And he just kept texting me, calling me, sending me pictures, and that went on for, I legit shit you not, 3 months. 3 months of that, and then he finally stopped. So, moral of the story is, learn to slap boys, I guess. Reject. It's okay to reject creeps. I don't know the moral. Is there a moral? I don't know. But thank goodness Clarissa was there to get me out of this mess, because I almost had to kiss creepy Pablo. But anyway, it's so funny though, because every time something crazy happens, Clarissa's always there. Like, there's gonna be a story time video where she's here, because she will put her 2 cents in, because she's always there. But yeah, so that was my story. I hope you guys liked it and learned something from 15-year-old me. And I don't know what else to say. Like, I still feel like that's one of the creepiest things that a guy's ever done to me. But yeah, so I hope you liked that story. I hope it entertained you for the amount of time in this video. I hope I entertained you. But if I didn't, then you do what you want to do, boo. So yeah, bye. Thank you for watching. And Clarissa is a year younger than me, so she was about 14. She was 14. And this is what an extreme close-up looks like. And